Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. So I just finished putting together some low-density structures, which means we now have all the materials we need to launch spacecraft. And I think I even nailed down where I want my launch pads. Yeah, so here's where we want the rocket silo, roughly. I'll be moving these around from time to time as I refine this. So what do we need to launch for? Well, I need to get science going so we can do the space science research that we need here. So I need the space science pack. For that, we're actually going to need to build and launch a space platform starter pack, and then build and launch and place an asteroid collector. And that will teach us how to make white science. And there's the recipe for it. So that will need to be actually done in orbit. Okay? But once we get that, we then need to start making science down here. So the question is, what do I want to build first? The mall that is going to be building the space parts, or my research area? I think I'm going to build the space mall first. And this is kind of a departure from how I would normally build. Notice I haven't built any kind of a mall here yet. We don't have hardly anything that I would normally have gotten going at this point. Hold on, where's my checklist? Ooh, I don't have a checklist. How about that? I probably should make a checklist at some point. Anyway, there's a bunch of things that we are not making yet that I'm going to need before I actually go to other planets. We could run through all sorts of things in our crafting area, and we could say, well, we need this, we need that, we need the other. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start building them. So first thing we need is we will need to place a space platform starter pack in orbit so we can unlock a bunch of other recipes. And we will need a bunch of space platform foundations. We'll also need a cargo landing pad. Well, I'm going to go down here where I've put my thingy here, and we're going to say, well, we've got our silo. Let's put our landing pad in place. I'm going to put the rest of these in place too so I can see what they are. Starter pack. Kind of this as a reminder that I need to build these things. I will need foundation, but I'm going to put it all the way off to the right. We're going to build a lot of foundations. So far, these are low quantity things. Asteroid collectors. I'm going to need to build a bunch of those to send them up. Eventually, we're going to be building higher quality ones. Crushers and thrusters we'll also need to build. So there's our kind of our guide for what we need in our space mall. Now here, well, let's see. I am going to want a cargo landing pad. Actually, let's put these over here, like that. Okay, so when we want to send something up to orbit, actually when we want to get something down from orbit, excuse me, we will request it here in the cargo landing pad, and the platforms in orbit will send stuff down to here, and then we will take them out of the landing pad and do stuff with them. Now there's two ways of doing that. First is the way we're going to do it initially, which is inserters. Later on, when we have requester chests, we will have robots that will be moving things from the cargo landing pad into requester chests. The next step after that is to dump everything out of the landing pad into the logistics area and let the robots handle the whole thing. But there's our initial layout. The number one thing you want to remember about silos is you always, always, always want to have productivity modules in them. We can't make productivity module 2s yet, but we will want them. Just like that. Now, as long as I am working on the landing area, let's do a couple other things. So in order to get this properly set up, I'm going to need a roboport in here. Okay. Because we're going to need to make sure that every one of these rocket silos is within roboport coverage. Oh, you're going to automatically place it, aren't you? Well, that's okay. The other thing I want to do is I want to have... where did they go? Substations. And I'm going to request some of those in, because I don't think I've been using these much. I remember putting them in. So we do have some. And I remember from previous designs, if I put the substation in here, that leaves me with just enough room to have the 3 ingredients for my rocket. See, I'm going to need to supply processing units, low-density structures, and rocket fuel here. We've already got them prepared down below. And we're going to bring in those guys. So, these splitters, our 3 lanes need to be like here, here, and here, right? Right. So the splitter needs to be here, here, and here, so we can jump, across them like that. Okay, so there's our rocket silo area. And these guys just need to get hooked up down below. I'm going to wait to hook them up until we start getting silos built. However, tell you what, let's go ahead and run this down, but I will block them from going in by putting a break in the belt here. Reason why I'm taking these down is because I do want to see which thing is going to appear where on my bus. There. Now, what I want to do is I want to think in terms of salvos of rockets. Now, if we have 10 of these guys, that means when a platform arrives, we can fire off 10 rockets to send it materials, and then after a short animation, we can fire off 10 more rockets to send it more materials. And then after that, we're building more. Well, if we can build out of the iron chests, then they can get these done really fast. At that point, we are refilling the chests from down below. Our production rates, I originally spec'd them out with 10 launch pads in mind. We'll see how that works. But we want to limit, where's our red wire? We want to limit these guys and filter them. So this guy is going to be filtered. So we're confirming that this is handling rocket fuel. Just like that. And we're going to set the filters. So we are going to send rocket fuel here until we have, say, 200. I forgot just how many of these each it takes to do that, but 200 should be a good number. We can adjust it up or down. The other way I could do this would be to have it on a number. Oh, let's set it for N. How about we set it for N? Okay, so we're going to be bringing in a green wire, which is going to connect elsewhere. And you are going to be where I get N. So N is how many of each ingredient we want to have. N. Let's set it to 200 initially. So my thinking is if I have these set up to be enough to make 2 complete rockets, that'll help. Let's see. Let's do the math. Rocket parts 0 of 50. So it's 50 rocket parts. Each rocket part takes 1. So it's 50 each. So actually 200 is enough for 4 rockets in the box. I'm going to go with that. So we look at this. There's N. Now we want to copy this, make a blueprint of it, and I'm going to change this into a parameter. And we're going to snap it down. This guy is moving blue chips. Again, just 200 of them. It's the same quantity, independent of the fact that we've got a stack size of 20 and stack size of 200. And low density structures are also a stack size of 20. Just like that. So there's good. So now if I grab this guy, I'm going to grab down to here, kill you. So we have this. And then I can toss that. Toss that. So we have just this area up here, which is this, which is repeatable. Silos have the same alignment rules as rails. So when you move them to the left, they have to go left by 2 cells, which means the silo really is extending out to that one more on the left up there. So they're really 10 by 10 for alignment purposes. Put you back in. And now we can go to map mode and I can lay out all 10 of them. Oops. And that is just wrong. Now, why did it go up an extra one? Let's try this again. Okay, so we're going to move this down here. And I'm going to change the height to 9. Like that. So now it's the correct height. We're going up by 9s. I was wrong. It's not 2 by 2, but I don't know why it went up and left one there. Maybe it's this guy down here. Put him back in. Create blueprint. And that is not correctly aligned. It's like we need to go 1 to the right and 2 up. Zero maybe? I just moved the 2. So I did 2 up. That worked. I need to go 1 to the right. That was the wrong way. There we go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Control V gets us what we copied before, not what we have prepared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 silos. And I have left breaks in the belt. The idea is that I will, well, I'd really prefer to not place the silos, so I would prefer to place the silos in order. And what I'll do is I will put the belts in once the silos have been placed. But this will place the rest of it and get it all going. The other thing I think I'm going to do, and this is a decision that I just made. Oh, I don't need to have an N in here on each one. That would... Yeah, having an N injected on every one of these would be very bad. Okay, so we've got N coming in one place. N is 400 on the green wire. I can look up here, and these guys see N of 400. It should be 200. Where did I miss it? There it is. Okay. N is 200. Yay! the idea is that we get this all built, and as time goes by and we get more silos ready, I plump them down in order. And once I've got the silo actually constructed and I'm ready to start launching from it, I will set these up. I think I'm going to just use one silo at a time, just one silo here. I'll build the rest of them, but I will only populate this one with goodies until I've got the modules unlocked and ready to go. Now at this point, though, I can get this guy starting to fill his boxes, and that wouldn't hurt. Next question is, do I want to prioritize these? I think I'm going to make these priority output priority left. So all of my silos are set up so that we will prioritize the earlier silos so that we can get more rockets sooner. So 5 silos with half a rocket's worth of stuff in them doesn't do me a whole lot of good. But 2 silos with more than enough is much better. There we go. And now with that prioritized, I'm thinking that with it prioritized, I can go ahead and have the other ones drop stuff in boxes too. Because it's only going to drop stuff in these boxes if we have excess. So I'm going to do that. And we are going to take up through there as our repeatable unit. Just like that. Yeah, I should have thought about prioritization earlier on. I wouldn't have had to worry about breaking the bus. So there's that. So now we are feeding this stuff in, but we still do not have rocket silos and cargo landing pads and all the other stuff that we need here. I am going to save off the rocket stuff down here. Launch pad, save blueprint. So N will control how many rockets we can make with this cutoff. Okay. Okay, so now we want to start building our rocket mall. And the things we want to build are silos and landing pads and platforms and collectors and crushers and thrusters. Well, that's 6 of them. Also, what I want to do is I want to make sure that if the rocket silo is eating a lot of materials, I want everybody else to have a chance to use them first. Okay, and the best way I can think of doing that is by placing the rocket silo at the far northern end of the mini mall. So I'm just going to set up a little mini mall here just to do this. It's going to be, I guess, centered on this guy here. Yeah, okay. So, there. So here's where we would start it normally. If I had a mini mall out here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's go 9 up. I'm going to give you extra space so I can add more things down below. You are making rocket silos because those are the rarest thing we want. We'll need, well, we'll need a burst of these at the beginning where we're building out our launch area, I admit. But over the long run, we need these guys. We need a cargo landing pad here and a cargo landing pad on each destination, so that's rare. We need space platform starter packs, and that's kind of rare. And we don't know how to make anything else until we get down to the space platforms themselves. Let's get some power in here. Not Not sure why that didn't connect. Okay. Now, I do want to put down assemblers. We haven't unlocked these yet, but I do want to put down assemblers that can make them. And the way to do that is you have this guy set up for parameter 0. And then you grab it. Oh, come on. Control C, you hold down Shift. There we go. And then you say parameter 0 is what we are making. I don't even need to change this. You just say create blueprint. And this is going to be thrusters. We're just going to start from the right. We're going to do thrusters. We're going to do crushers. And we are going to do asteroid collectors. There we go. And I'll reserve these 3 for additional things I will want to make, should I want to make them. Now, what do these guys need? Let's take a look. This guy needs steel plate, processing units, electric engine units, pipe, and concrete. And the big quantities that we need, actually, let's use the mouse over here. The ones that we need the fastest, steel at 25 per second and concrete at 25 per second if we were running this at full speed. Okay, so steel and concrete are our biggies. Concrete there is pretty big. Steel, we have steel. So I'm thinking steel and blue chips off on the left. Just like that. And I'm going to use this method to confirm that these are actually stuff we need. That needs steel and blue chip. That needs steel. That needs blue chips. We don't know what those guys need at all. Now from the right, so if we've got blue chips and steel, whoops. Given that we've got blue chips and steel, I think the first thing we're going to pick off to the right is just concrete. So we'll just have a belt of concrete coming in. So these 2 things need concrete. Well, let's run the steel and blue chips up now that we know what they are. So I guess now's the time for us to start making our bus, huh? I'm going to start from the right and just bring down materials that are needed on the bus. So let's see. Looking at my calculations for what is on the bus, got to bring up my little planner here. Where did you go? Whoops. Okay, apparently I didn't save that Factorio planner. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Okay, so I had a tab in my browser that had Factorio Lab with the base I was building and everything, and I thought I had saved it off as a hot link, and apparently I didn't. Hold on. Factorio Novice Main Base Production. That's almost right. Hold on, let me redistrict all of this. Yeah. Okay, so first thing is I need to get my research right. You know what? I'm just going to bring everything onto the bus that we have here. So first thing is we have copper. So I am going to start by bringing the copper all the way from here. And you are the copper line. If I bring all of these guys down, I'll be able to see... Yeah, if I bring them all down, I will be able to stripe things in and have it just work. I think we're good so far. Good. So I'm pretty sure we only need one line of copper at this point. And we're going to stop here. And the next line I'm going to do iron, so copper, and well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, surely I did this math somewhere. Yeah, there we have it. I found my totals list. Number 1 lane is steel. Okay. So let's go ahead and just stripe in all of these guys. The reason why I'm dragging these instead of blueprinting across is that this would not give me the undergrounds if I just used a blueprint. Okay. There we go. Now, so the order is steel, iron, copper. So this is the copper line. So I'm going to set up a little blueprint here. Output priority to the right with deconstruction planner on it, just like that. And this is the blueprint I'm going to stamp down. So that's steel, iron, copper. Steel, and there's iron is here. Let's see what it does there. Pretty sure that's wrong. So in this case, that will do. So there's our twin iron. We'll just bring that in like that. Yeah, this turns out to be messier than I like. It put in some undergrounds where I didn't like it, and so on. Oh, come on, man. It's hitting me with the low light conditions. So copper, iron brings in copper, copper, iron, iron. I guess I just got to do it manually. Oh, well. Okay, now we're going to do green chips here. And red chips on the next one. Blue chips on the last one. Now steel is not actually getting all the way down. And look at what I did to myself here. I'm going to have to dodge steel a little bit to the right so this can be made to work. Come on. Bring it over to here. There we go. There's steel. Red, green, red, and blue chips down there. Okay, the next things I want are coal and stone and brick. But we don't have stone and brick. We should have coal here. We do. I'm going to need to bring coal through here. Go off to the right to do this. I'm also going to need sulfur, aren't I? How would I bring sulfur across the top and coal across the second one? Because these are all just kind of nice and set up here. Oh, we also need plastic. Do we? Oh, no. Yes, I do. Okay, I do need plastic on the bus. For something. I'm not sure what I need plastic on it for. The main use of plastic... main use of plastic is red chips and LDS. We've already gotten that taken care of. Okay, so I'll bring plastic down lower. If I bring it onto the bus in the same order that it's on here, that will make it so much easier. Okay. So I'm going to bring sulfur through there. I want plastic to come out here. Somehow. But I need coal to go. See, if I bring plastic here, that makes it a little harder to get coal into the next line down. So if I bring coal out here, shucks, that doesn't work either. Hold on. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? So I'm going to prioritize sending the plastic upwards. So this guy, output priority to the right, which will go under and right directly up. Then we go down to here, we're going to go output priority to the left, which will go right through there. Then we're going to balance them again up here. And what plastic doesn't go out the top will then be routed out that way. Now, this leaves us with 3 lanes to bring in stone and brick, and I'll probably do concrete as well. Let's get these striped across. I think with this I can just grab them in map mode. I'm not holding down shift, so if I actually encounter something, it will skip doing things. So this guy is going to be coming from way down below. Oh, steel and blue chips. So, yeah, this is not what it looks like. Let's get him going. Now that I'm back here, yeah, no. I need to get the LDS off of this line. There. So this guy needs to be steel and blue chips. So the steel needs to be here. Blue chips need to come from there. These blue chips are here. Everybody else I can just zip across like this. There we go. So I have notes that we need LDS, plastic, and sulfur on the bottom edge. I'm going to rework this. No, that's the output of a Python script. I don't want to rework that. I will just keep track of which ones I've done. So I've done coal, LDS, and plastic and sulfur. I still need stone and brick on this guy. Okay, so we're down to needing stone and brick. And I'm going to bring out concrete because we're going to need that also. As we see here. So stone, brick, and concrete. So where can we get this? There's some stone up there. Not a whole lot of it. The alternative is going all the way down here. And if I start mining here, I might agitate the natives. I'd rather leave agitating the natives until I've used up this stone. let's add a tag on him. That's 2.8 million, which is actually quite a lot of stone. And I need to go up to the stone, and we need to put stuff on him to make stone, and then brick, and then, yeah, you know what I'm, you know what I'm saying. Site prep. It's a very small patch. Whoops. Okay, B. We are using miner unit 2. There we go. I'm going to bring it out to the right so I can do things with the belts and curl them around and come down on the left. I put one in the middle here. Well, actually, let's see. If I put you there, I can do that, and you become our aligned gridded thingy. And that works. That covers everything, which is really what we need. Now I need to do a smelter. You look right. You look right. So we're going to grab you. Now I need half of this, so 24 but on both sides. Like that. And we're going to parameterize based on this guy. So here's our output. And this guy is the first ingredient of the output. And I'm going to save this as para and furnace. I need to start gathering all these parametrics. See, now when I start gathering together, I can see that I already had one. And this is para furnace. So this fills a red belt. Save blueprint. Go into U, change your description to be similar. It's 24. One belt of stone into 1/2 belt of brick. Or similar. Or a half of a belt of other stuff. Save blueprint. Okay, so you're all set. Which direction are you facing? I want to face south and put you right here. Actually, no, let's face west. Confirm we are making brick. All 4 of these need to be merged together. I'm going to put a cheap balancer on these guys. Keep forgetting. There we go. We're going to cheap balance these down to 2 lines. And 1 line is going to be the input here. And 1 line is going to go all the way around so that we have a belt of stone to send. And the brick comes out here. There's stone and brick. I think what I'm going to do is I will advertise that I have exactly half a belt here by doing a lane merger, excuse me, a lane balancer, and then saying you are sending nobody out that direction. So that'll just be 1 lane. So that should work. Now for concrete, come on, with crafting, concrete requires iron ore and water. So I was fiddling around elsewhere and my lazy bastard got pulled off of there by mistake. Oh. Okay. Apparently my fiddling around elsewhere, where I launched a rocket, finished off lazy bastard for me. So there is that. So I'm going to have to just basically promise that I don't actually craft any more by hand until we get there. But that does mean if that carried across, then the controls are probably set as well. Yes, they are. No more, no crafting. So you're not going to see me get the lazy bastard in this one. Oh, well. Really what happened there was I messed up a recording or 2 or 3. And we're not going to see the achievements from those because I did not want to go restart the whole series. And you can't just roll back some achievements. I have to roll them back all or none. At least as far as I know. Anyway, so if I can get some water and some iron, gosh, where can I get some iron? I don't know. Where can I get some iron ore? Gosh, I need some iron ore. Where am I going to get? Boom. Here's our iron ore. So I don't know how much concrete I'm going to need. Let's just do an amount that's convenient to build. Okay, so these take water, and they take 2 solids, and the rates, we output at twice the rate we input. Interesting. So what I think I'm going to do is do the output to the middle. Actually, let's see here. If I do that, now when I say a convenient amount of output, what I really mean is what is the maximum output we can get out of this? Concrete, concrete, concrete. I'm going to leave a little bit of room for these guys. That's going to go out somewhere. Out here, I'm going to pick up the water. Iron ore and stone brick. Well, we need basically half belt of stone brick. And am I going to assume that my iron ore, I bring the iron ore in like that. There we go. So at this point in the build, I'm not going to presume that my brick is all on one lane. And that's the wrong one. Input needs to be there. And there. So if this is delivering 15 brick per second, and I'm using 0.37, this will be 40 machines to do the entire half belt of brick. That's excessive even for me. But let's do them in groups of 2 so I don't have to do all of this fancy stuff out here. Now I can bring in the power like this. Drop a lamp in here that is always on. You are concrete. Let's get the water going before I blueprint it. You know what? Works for me. Snap to grid. That's 4. That's 20. Yeah, I don't know how much concrete I'm going to need. Let's just build more. There's 40 machines. There we go. Did I say 40 was going to be excessive? Do I not have I do have... Why are my robots not building this? I guess they're just being really slow. Let's see. Oh, okay, they're making the long trek and they have to keep stopping to charge. Okay, that makes sense. So now this guy needs to get his water from somewhere. So from here, I can just head straight to the right, and we'll find some water. Easy peasy. So we have stone, and we have brick, and we have 1.5 tons of concrete. And that needs to come south and dodge west here somewhere, say along this and then south. Getting this across this guy, this is actually longer than my undergrounds can go. That's okay. So can I bring it to the left above this guy? Yeah, I guess I can. Anywhere here is good. Now I get to here. I wonder if I just put this down here. Oh, it does. It sets up the undergrounds for me. Yay. Okay, so I missed the cliff. And I missed the cliff there. Kind of like the fact that in Space Age, you have to deal with the cliffs. They're not as much of a problem. I guess I got a bad taste of cliffs in my mouth early on when they were a lot more annoying. Here's where our 3 lines are coming in here. There we go. And now we switch back to blueprint mode to stripe this in again. I'm doing this without hitting shift or anything. So if we do encounter anything on the ground, we just won't do anything about it. And this is going to be stone and brick and concrete. So now we can supply the concrete that we have been waiting for. Now, none of these guys need concrete, so I'm thinking that at this point I can bring this over a ways. Get out of the way in case we need to bring in a bunch of other stuff. Okay. There's that. Where's our concrete? Oh, that's right. There's a section up there where we have no radar coverage. I can either put in the radar coverage and wait, or I can just go up and put it in by hand. Someday we'll have our own robots in our backpack. So all we have to do is walk up and it'll do it. Not yet. Did I mention that I had to rewind a couple episodes and re-record? Yeah. Here comes the brick. Or excuse me, the concrete. So that's 3 of our ingredients. And we need pipes, electric engine units, and I also need, let's do this a little bit differently. There. Also need to put our output somewhere. So let's see, fancy boxes, stock capture, both of those guys. This guy is making rocket silos, and this guy is making landing pads. Now, something I want to do here. This guy, I only want to make them if I've got greater than or equal to 1, okay? But I want to do that here as well. So logic network, control, less than 1. And that's going to go for both of those as well. So once we get a silo in the logistics network, all of the inserters here are going to stop doing anything. And with cargo landing pads, we're going to do the same thing. We need to change the condition. There we go. I'm pretty sure this is actually going to be able to make the landing pad. In fact, yeah, it will make it, and it will stop until a robot commits to taking the storage chest contents. And then it's going to make another one because you've committed to taking one. Oh, no, hold on. Connect. Cargo landing pad is less than 1. So a robot should have come pick up that storage chest. Oh. There's our landing pad. Okay. So we did get one made and placed. The second one's here, ready to go, and none of our ingredients are moving. This guy's going to wait until I have electric engine units and pipes, and that's going to be our next recording. I will see you then.